Lighting is hard, especially if it's outdoor or exterior lighting. But after 8 minutes of this video, you will not only learn how to light outdoor scenes, but you will also learn how to light nighttime scenes as well. I will try my best to not only explain the concepts, but also implement them in different scenarios so that you can understand it better. If you want to support the channel, check out the forest generator. You will also find all of the project files on my Patreon, including the free starter file for you to follow along. Let's start with the traditional way of lighting outdoor scenes with a sunlight and an HDRI. It works similarly to how we light objects or characters, but we will use sunlight instead of area lights because we are lighting the whole world. There is also another way to light daytime scenes, and I will also cover that as well. We will start with the basics, make the world dark for now, so we can focus on the main light, which will be our sunlight. Before we do that, you have to keep one rule in mind. Make sure you don't angle the sun in front of the subject. I will tell more about it in a minute. Relocate the cursor at the center of the camera. With Shift plus right click, add a sunlight and move it to the top. The location of the sun doesn't matter, as it only depends on the rotation. Change the pivot point to 3D cursor, and now you can rotate the sun around the point. This makes it easier to set up the sun. I usually keep the rotation between 45 to 60 degrees. You can play with the Z rotation until it is opposite to the camera. Go into the properties and increase the strength to 5. Sunlight is not white, so we have to add some color, but instead of changing the color here, we will use a black body node. Click Use Nodes and open the shader editor. Add a black body node and connect it into the color. Change the temperature to 4500 and increase the strength to 5. At this point, you are done with the sunlight. Let's fill these dark spots with the help of HDRI. I mainly use sunsets as they give the best result. These two are my favorites. Polyhaven is the best place to get free HDRI, and make sure you get the EXR version. In the shader editor, switch to the World tab and add the HDRI you downloaded. Rotate the HDRI until it matches the sun angle. This looks good. You can further push the HDRI with a math node, set it to power, and decrease the value to 0.5. Now this was the basic concept. Let's move to something more complex. I have this alleyway scene here which I made with the help of some photo scans. You can get this project file for free on my Patreon so you can follow along. Make the world dark, relocate the cursor, add a sunlight, move it to the top, change the pivot point, and now we can rotate it easily. Make sure you follow the rule to avoid the light to come from the camera side. I always go with 45 or 60 degrees. Rotate it around on Z-axis until you get something good. Increase the strength and click use nodes. Increase the emission strength as well, and add a black body node. Set it to 4500 Kelvin, and you are done with the main light. To fill these dark spots, switch to the World tab in the shader editor and add an HDRI. Try to match the HDRI sun with the main light. This will create perfect shadows, and we are almost done. Push the HDRI with the math node set to power and decrease the value to 0.1 or 0.2. Now this is where the secret sauce comes in, and it is right under the color management tab. You can play with the exposure to get good results. Let me explain the concept first. This is Uncharted 4, one of my favorite games. Notice something? The exposure changes, and it makes a big difference because you can't show both shadow and sunlight at the same exposure. You have to either decrease it to normalize the sun brightness or increase the exposure until the dark spots look normal. You can do this in the compositor as well. Just add an exposure node and decrease the exposure. I usually do -2 or -1. Add some glare and softness with the filter node, and you are good to go. If you want to push it one step further, try the cinematic compositor. It will add some cinematic touches which will boost your render visuals. There is also an alternative to this traditional lighting, and it comes with Blender by default. Open the World tab and add the sky texture. The concept will be similar. It comes with a built-in sun, so we don't need to add the sunlight. Again, set the elevation to either 45 or 60 degrees. Play with the rotation and follow the rule, which is to avoid the sun from the front of the camera. The problem with the sky texture is that it is too bright by default. Decrease the strength to 0.3 or 0.1 and increase the sun intensity to 5. Play with the exposure in the compositor, and you are good to go. You will still encounter one big issue that I will discuss in the last chapter, so watch till the end. Very few people talk about nighttime lighting, and most 3D artists get it wrong. Because night scenes are not mostly lit by the sky, it totally depends on its environment. Let's move to some practical stuff and light this scene from the beginning. First, you have to figure out if there are any possible sources of lights in your scene. In my case, there can be some light from the house, so let's just add a point light and move it in the house. Don't just randomly put lights in the house. You can follow references if you want. You can use a black body node to add some color into the light, and you can use a texture to add a shape to the light. It is totally on you. The second thing is to add some fog. Add a big cube that covers your scene. Create a new material, remove the principled node, go under the volume tab and add the volume shader. Decrease the density and increase the anisotropy. Now this is where the magic comes in. If you add a blue tint and a small value to the emission of the volume shader, you will get something cool like this. You can push this all with the final moonlight. Add a point light, move it to the top so that it is not visible in the camera. Add some blue tint and increase the strength. And there you have it, perfect nighttime lighting in Blender. You can also use the sky texture to create the background with stars. Uncheck sun, decrease the elevation, and increase the altitude to 40,000. Decrease the strength to 0.05, add a mix shader, and mix the noise texture with the sky texture, with high scale and a color ramp. Mine are the best settings, which will give you stars and the background. Now that you know how to light both night and daytime scenes, let's talk about some problems that you will face while lighting your outdoor scenes. The first is that your background will be empty. You can fix this by using sky images from Unsplash. You can hide the horizon with trees and it works most of the time. My forest generator will be perfect for that. It is free as well. You can also use trees or planes to block light. It comes in handy sometimes. In the final, I would recommend working on your scene first and then start lighting the scene, because sometimes it's all about the details. You can light a cube, but it will still be a cube. It won't turn into an environment. I hope you will love this video, and if you want to support the channel, you can get my add-ons and Patreon with the link in description. If you want to learn how to light characters and products, check out these videos.